Hey everybody, today we're going to talk about the Altra Lone Peak all-weather mid hiking boot. This is a popular choice for people looking for a hiking boot with a more natural foot shape and a zero drop platform. If you're new to the channel, my name's Ben and I'm part of the team here at the Adventure Junkies, where we help people like you choose the right gear to get outdoors. If you want to learn more, visit our website at www.theadventurejunkies.com. Now for what you really came for. Let's talk about the Altra Lone Peak all-weather mid boot. The mid version of this shoe/boot that we tested retails for $180 and is imported from Vietnam. Now $180 is definitely more expensive than most of its competitors. It's definitely on the high side. Now you can pick these up in sizes 7 through 16. Which is a person with a big foot, I really appreciate. Being able to find shoes when you have large sized feet can be challenging. So 7 through 16 is appreciated. They're also available in a wide. You can pick these up in 3 different color combinations. This is the black, obviously. They're also available in a maroon and a gray/yellow. In terms of weight, the Altra Lone Peak all-weather mid, pretty light for sure. I tested size 13s. These are size 13s, and on my scale, they weigh 2 pounds even. Obviously, every size is going to be different. 2 pounds even, that's 924 grams for a size 13. Now, that's actually the same weight as the size 13's pair of Salomon X Ultra 4 GTX mids that I tried. So yeah, pretty light. So now let's move on to the lacing system. This lacing system, unlike some of Altra's other shoes, is very straightforward. This is a normal boot lacing here. You're going to look at this and say, if you've ever laced boots, you've seen this before. In terms of durability, a lot of lightweight synthetics in the lacing system, but to be honest, I think other parts of the boots would wear out before the lacing system, so should be plenty durable. Now let's move on to waterproofness, right? So the Lone Peak all-weather, it's in the name. They are waterproof, and that's thanks mostly to the Event waterproof or water-resistant bootie liner that comes with this boot. I did hike with these in a spring snowstorm, and I didn't have any leaking. I was impressed. They did pretty well. They don't breathe incredibly well. There's definitely more breathable shoes out there, but for a waterproof boot, I think they breathe pretty well. I actually think the Event bootie breathes a little better than many of the Gore-Tex booties that I've tried recently. It also has a gusseted tongue, so that's going to help keep debris as well as moisture out. All right, so let's take a look at the construction and some of the features. We're going to start with the upper, and if you're not fully familiar with boot terminology, the upper is the top part of the boot. Then you move down into the midsole, which is this foamy bit here, and then the outsole is going to be the bottom rubber that you would generally consider the sole of your shoe. What's interesting about this boot is the upper is actually made of mostly welded construction, and welded construction is where the 2 different type of materials meet, but there isn't any stitching. Traditionally, the uppers on boots have stitching, but a lot of these lightweight boots are moving to a fully welded design, and that's primarily to save weight. Now, we do have a little concern about so many different lightweight synthetic materials being welded together. However, we did not have any issues with the quality of this boot during testing. I put quite a bit of miles on it, and it seems like it's going strong. I also read a ton of reviews online, and there's not a lot out there where people are saying that the upper delaminates or anything like that. In the case that you were to have an issue, Altra provides a 300 to 500 mile warranty against manufacturer defects, and that's from the date of purchase. If you do have any issues, visit ultrarunning.com or an authorized retailer, and they'll get you set up with a warranty claim. So now we briefly touched on this in the intro, but all of Altra's shoes are what's called zero drop. And what that basically means is the forefoot and the heel are on the same plane. Most hiking shoes have a raised heel, and Altra does not. And what that does is that encourages better form and alignment. And personally, this is all personal preference, but I actually prefer a zero drop shoe compared to a big raised heel. So Altra uses their foot shape fit And what that does is that gives you more space for your foot to sit naturally, and it's designed to address biological differences in men and women's feet. So for Altra, that means basically a wider cut and a wider toe box. I actually found this boot to be too narrow for me. Again, I have a very wide foot, and I really had high hopes for this, but it was too narrow for me through the arch here. So the toe box for me is the right size. This is a nice wide toe box, but again, I just have pinching through the arches. And everyone's foot is different, everyone's fit is different. So the Lone Peak All-Weather doesn't offer a ton of foot protection, and that's to be expected with it being such a lightweight shoe. I particularly noticed the lack of protection through the midfoot. I mean, this is just a mesh pretty much all the way through. There is a little bit on the heel here, and there is a toe cap. It's not a super beefy toe cap, but it is enough to protect against, kicking some rocks. You're in technical terrain, your issue is going to be through here, especially if you're hiking in like a talus field or something like that. And if I'm going to buy a mid-height hiking boot, I would probably want a little more protection for my foot in an ideal world. But that's just me, personal preference. The Lone Peak All-Weather uses their Trail Claw canted lugs. And the Trail Claw is basically, it just follows the form of your foot. As you can see, follows the form of your metatarsals. And that's supposed to give you a better grip. So their Trail Claw canted lugs combined with their DuraTread outsole, that's the rubber, it makes a really grippy outsole. I was really impressed, especially on wet rock. I think this would be really good on technical terrain. It was good in mud, good on wet rock, good on dry rock. Overall, I was really surprised with this outsole and the grip. So is it stiff? Let's give it the twist test. No, it is not stiff. It is the most flexible boot that we tested. And again, personal preference, I like the flexibility. I like feeling the ground with my feet. A lot of people don't. But yeah, plenty of flexibility. But also, I found it to be pretty stable. My foot locked in pretty well. Good ankle support, good heel support. A lot of people have complained about their toes and forefoot swimming around in this boot, but I did not have that problem. I found it to be quite stable, especially for the amount of flexibility that it offers. So in terms of support, it's not a minimalist shoe. Do not get zero drop confused with minimalist and barefoot, because it's not. But it is more minimal than many of the boots we've tested. So because of that, it doesn't offer a lot of artificial support. It is relying on your body to do a lot of that work. Now there is support. Don't get me wrong. The midsole offers support, and this whole back area offers support through the heel. Now, speaking of midsole and cushion, because they go hand in hand, the cushion from the shoe comes from the midsole. When you wear this, it feels a lot like a trail running shoe. It almost has like a cushy spring in the step, like a running shoe would. And that's thanks in part to the Ultra Ego midsole. It's the foamy bit between the upper here and the outsole. You don't normally get that spring with a lot of hiking boots. I don't know that I necessarily liked it or disliked it. It's just sort of a fact of the boot. Now, toe box. We've talked a lot about the toe box. Do you like a narrow toe box that really locks your foot in place? Do you like a wider toe box that allows your foot to swell a little bit, allows your toes to spread out, offers a little more stability? It's all personal preference when it comes to footwear. I happen to like a wider toe box. The Altra is definitely known for a wider toe box. So if you do really like a narrower toe box that locks your foot in, this might not be the boot for you. But if you prefer sort of a foot-shaped toe box, definitely check this boot out. And you might be hard to see, but you can see that there is a reinforced toe cap on here that's going to protect you against rocks. So are they hot? I talked about this a little bit. The answer is yes. I find all waterproof boots to be hot. They breathe. They don't breathe as well as non-waterproof boots. But with the event, waterproof liner bootie. I actually found these to breathe better than most waterproof boots that I tested. So yeah, they breathe a little bit. So real quick, we're gonna run through a few things here. How easy is it to lace? It's as easy to lace as any pair of boots you've ever owned. Pretty normal, nothing out of the ordinary. I think the durability of the lacing system is probably on par. I didn't have any issues with it. I think other parts of the boot would tend to fail quicker than the lacing system. Again, fully gusseted tongue here. That's going to help keep debris out, keep water out. All right, so how is the sizing? I found the sizing to be pretty true to fit. I wear a size 13, these are a size 13, and they did fit me just fine. The caveat there being that these are too narrow. I would definitely recommend the wide size that is available. How comfy are they? I found them to be quite comfortable for not really fitting my foot. I think if this style shoe fits your foot, this is one of the more comfortable boots that I've tried out, for sure. Not a ton of padding, not a ton of protection, but I like that, except for the toe cap here, padded toe cap. I didn't have a lot of discomfort right out of the box. They didn't require any break-in. I did have some pain on the inside of my arches right here, but that only lasted a couple miles. I didn't get any blisters or anything. And then once the shoe kind of molded to my foot a little better, I noticed that the pain did go away. Again, they don't offer a ton of artificial support like other boots do, but they do offer some. The Ego midsole here, nice and cushy, and that's going to help with support and stability. The outsole, super grippy, worked well on all kinds of terrain. I would take this into the Alpine on technical terrain probably. Definitely grippy. Waterproofing, yes, it works. It's an event liner bootie. That works well. It worked well for me in a spring snowstorm, lots of water, so no complaints there. It breathes better than a lot of waterproof boots, but it doesn't breathe all that well. All right, so just to kind of recap a few things here. This is the Altra Lone Peak all-weather mid boot. Retails for $180, and this is the size 13, and the size 13 weighs 2 pounds or 924 grams, so pretty light for a big shoe. And you can find sizes and wide sizes for, ranging from size 7 to size 16. Much appreciated. So although the Lone Peak All-Weather is designed in a similar fashion to, and with a lot of the same tech, is a lot of Altra's trail runners, this is a hiking boot. There's no disguising it. I wouldn't trail run in this. I really wouldn't do much else in this. I would hike in this. Maybe some scrambling. I consider scrambling hiking, but yeah, you could take this into technical terrain. This is going to be for what I would say is like your average hiker to advanced hiker. With a boot this expensive and with this much tech in it, it's going to be good in all types of terrain, and it's going to offer more support than maybe a low-top trail runner that you might wear in similar terrain. I'd say this is ideal for thru hikers, backpackers, anyone who wants an ultralight, not minimalist, but minimal boot that isn't going to slow them down and weigh a ton. What do I personally like about it? My favorite things about it are that it's zero drop. It's nice and flexy, yet still waterproof. Offers enough cushion and support to be taken into technical terrain, but low profile and lightweight enough for just about any hike. I would take this on a thru hike. I would take it on a backpack. I love that it's waterproof. I like that it's kind of breathable, and I love that it's super grippy. Things I don't like about it, I found the fit to be just a little weird for me. It's narrow, but with a wide toe box, and with this wide of a toe box, I would expect the boot to be a little more wide, but I guess that's why you get the wide size. Again, wide foot, definitely check out the wide sizes. That's going to wrap things up here for our review of the Altra Lone Peak All-Weather Mid Boot. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please remember to like and share so more people like you can find it, and we'll see you out there. Happy hiking. Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you don't know what gear to bring hiking, or maybe you've just wasted money on the wrong gear in the past, then you definitely need to get a copy of this book. It's called The Beginner's Guide to Hiking Gear, and we've created it with the total beginner in mind. It'll help you learn what gear you need versus what gear is just nice to have versus what gear you don't need. It covers everything you need to know, including how to choose each item and specific product recommendations based on your budget, gender, hiking destination, and more. You can pick it up on Amazon, and it's available in paperback and for the Kindle. Check out the link in the description below. Happy hiking!